Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wellness for Real. This is where we talk about living with energy, vitality, and purpose, no matter your season of life. I'm really glad you're here. In today's episode, I just know it's one so many of you need because it's something I see again and again in clients. It's something I've personally navigated as well. And we're talking about some invisible stressors, the hidden sources of what I call chronic overdrive that so many women in midlife and beyond are really carrying around without even realizing it. And maybe you've been there, you're not in crisis per se, your life is fine, but you feel depleted, you're dragging, your sleep is off, your mood is flat, your energy is inconsistent, and nothing seems to fix it. And that, my friend, is the toll of invisible stress. And today we're going to dive into what chronic overdrive actually is, how stress hides in your nervous system, even when life looks calm, why this is especially common for women in midlife, and the real cost of staying in that functional burnout. And most importantly, how to start healing your stress load with a nervous system reset that works with your life and not against it. We often think of stress as the very obvious stuff like deadlines, drama, emergencies, but stress isn't always loud. And there's another form, like I said, I call it chronic overdrive. It's like the background hum of your refrigerator, and you don't notice it, but it's always running. And over time, it really wears you down. This kind of stress builds up from things like always being on. So, responding to texts, emails, calls, managing a household, a job, aging parents, maybe adult kids or grandkids, constant decision making. I've talked about that one a lot because there's such a thing as decision fatigue. It's a real thing. So, constant decision making, planning, organizing, remembering. I call it sort of this cognitive load that we end up carrying. And then low level inflammation or poor sleep. And maybe just maybe trying to do it all with a big smile. So none of these things on their own seem like a big deal, but together they really create this constant drip of cortisol and adrenaline, your stress hormones. And here's the thing, your nervous system does not care if the stress is a lion chasing you or just your to-do list screaming in your head at midnight. The physiological response in our bodies is the same. So let's talk a little bit about why it seems to hit us so hard in midlife. Just a quick interruption to tell you about David protein bars. I have lucked out and been able to represent these protein bars. I just think they're the best out there. They have some of the cleanest ingredients, but they also taste really, really good. Lots of flavors. But the biggest thing is that they have almost 30 grams of protein in every single bar and only 150 calories. So that's really, really hard to find a high protein bar with quality ingredients that has that low of calories. If you go to davidprotein.com/Heather, you will be able to buy 3 boxes, get a full box free plus a sample pack. So again, davidprotein.com/Heather, and you can get that free box plus the sample pack. Give them a try. They're great. Usually that's because for many of us, it's sort of this intersection of multiple roles. We're supporting aging parents while still parenting or emotionally parenting grown kids, sometimes still little kids. Our careers may be at their peak stress levels. Our hormones are shifting, which magnifies the effects of stress on our bodies. I talked a little bit about that in the last episode. And then, just our society does not really encourage us to slow down. We are told to push harder, be grateful, stay busy. And the sleep disruption from perimenopause or menopause, suddenly your stress load is through the roof, but it's so gradual and it's so normalized by even just our culture around us that often we don't even notice until something breaks your health, your mood, your energy, that sort of thing. So, what does it look like when you're in this place of invisible stress, or we can call it functional burnout, right? You're burned out, but you're functioning. It might show up as feeling wired but tired. I hear this constantly from clients, and this is how I started to feel in my early phase. It's this feeling of like I'm buzzing, I'm wired up, but I'm exhausted. If you experience anxiety or irritability just out of nowhere, waking up at 2, 3 a.m. and not being able to fall back asleep, gaining weight, even though you're eating healthy, a lack of motivation, like the spark is gone, the drive is gone. And then chronic aches and pains are gut issues. And the hardest part, you are still functioning. You're still doing the things. So no one, including you, sees this as burnout. But that's exactly what it is. Your body is waving a white flag. And this is your nervous system saying, I cannot do it this way anymore. So let's talk. Let's get a little sciencey for a moment. There's a term in neuroscience and medicine called allostatic load. So think of it as your body's stress bank account. So every stressor, emotional, physical, environmental, relational, makes a withdrawal. Recovery practices like sleep, rest, breath work, joyful movement, those make deposits. When your withdrawals outweigh your deposits for too long, that's a high allostatic load. And that's when chronic symptoms start showing up because your body has been in survival mode for too long. It's not interested in weight loss. In fact, when you are in chronic survival mode, your body is going to hold on to every little bit of fat it possibly can and not drop it no matter what you're doing because it is in a stress state. It feels to protect you. It has to hold on to all those things. So it's not interested in weight loss. It's not interested in clear thinking, libido, or long term health. It just wants to keep you alive. So, to start feeling better, we really have to reduce the withdrawals and increase the deposits. And this, I'm not talking about you have to quit your job. Well, I mean, if you can make that happen and that's part of your stress load, do it. But most of us cannot quit our job. Most of us cannot move to a cabin in the woods. You really can start small to start helping yourself heal and feel better. All right, let's talk about where we shift from the information to action. Because remember, you can listen to all this, and that's awesome because we get educated in that way. But it really does come down to how we behave, what our actions are. So let me walk you through a 7-day nervous system reset. Start right now. And the goal of it is to move your body out of chronic sympathetic overdrive. So that's sort of that fight or flight you hear about, into more parasympathetic rest and restore states of the nervous system. So here's what to try each day. So day one, you're going to just start with morning light and some grounding. So first thing in the morning, I want you to go outside for 3 to 5 minutes. You can set your timer, right? I know mornings can be hectic, so 3 to 5 minutes, and let that natural light hit your eyes. Do not wear your glasses. Do not wear sunglasses. Also, do not look directly at the sun if it's up. Just be out there in natural light for 3 to 5 minutes and stand barefoot or sit down maybe on the front steps outside or, right by your front door, but try to stand barefoot on grass or even cement is fine. Just somewhere where you can sit and just be. Do not let your phone be with you during this time. Day two, we're going to talk about a breath reset. So set a timer for 3 times a day to do 1 minute only of box breathing. So you're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. This type of breathing tells your body, tells your nervous system you are safe. So you're going to do that 3 times a day. Remember to set the alarm because you're going to tell yourself you're going to do it and you're going to forget. Okay. Day three, this is called single tasking. Pick one task. So it might be making dinner, folding laundry, answering emails, and do it singly. Do it without multitasking. Let your brain experience completeness. It is deeply calming. This is one of those things that never gets talked about. Our brain really, we want, when we experience completeness of a task, that actually is very calming. It's why if you use a to-do list and you can check off something on your to-do list, you have relief, you have completeness. So multitasking really screws this up. It never allows us to fully feel that completeness. So you're going to practice being single-minded, single-tasked. You're going to do one thing and you're going to follow it through to the very end, doing nothing else while you're doing it. So if you're making dinner, that's all you're going to do. You're not going to check emails while the water's boiling. You're not going to do anything else. You're just going to be present in the moment. You're going to fold the laundry. You're going to start it, finish it. No checking your phone, nothing like that. You're just going to do one thing. It really can be life-changing to start living your daily life like this. Actually, the interesting part of doing that, of stopping the multitasking, is that most people report back to me, and I've had this in my own life, you actually get way more done. It's fascinating. Okay. Uh, Day 4, we're going to talk about joyful movement. So you're going to move your body, but in a way that feels joyful, not punishing. So dance in the kitchen for 3 minutes or to one song. Walk slowly. Do gentle yoga. This is really choosing movement for you that feels joyful. The goal is to move without adding more adrenaline. So if you already have a movement routine or exercise routine and you do things like running or, box gyms where you're pushing hard to the limit, I don't want to say the name and get in trouble, but if you're doing things like that, that's fine. There's time and place for those things, but understand you are putting your body into more high stress mode. So I'm not saying don't do those things during the week, but what I'm saying is you want to add in joyful movement where it's movement just for the movement. It makes you feel good. It does not add more adrenaline. Day 5 is sensory reset. So at least once on this day, give your nervous system a sensory break. So try a warm bath, dim the lights, soothing music, or aromatherapy. Let your senses signal safety. Excuse me. And then nervous system nourishment. Eat at regular times. Do not skip meals. So I know there's a thing with fasting. Okay, hold on. I am going to go shut my door because there, of course, is a neighborhood dog barking in the middle of this, and I have no idea if Riverside can cut that out or not. So we're just going to shut the door so you don't have to listen to the dog barking. It was such a beautiful morning. It rained this morning. The birds are singing like crazy, so I had all the doors and windows open. Okay, so that nervous system nourishment, you really want to eat at regular times. So I know, like I was saying, the fasting thing, people can get really into that. I am saying if you are a woman in midlife experience, like if this is hitting home with you, I cannot stress enough the importance of eating at regular times. I tell women when I'm working with them through this every 3 to 4 hours, do not skip meals. The reason for this is because when you're in this chronic state of stress, this sort of background, remember the refrigerator hum that's going on and you're depleted, we are trying to give the nervous system all signs of safety to help you heal and help your body heal. So when we eat, the nervous system, remember, it's called rest and digest, that parasympathetic. And so when we eat, that's exactly what happens. We flip into parasympathetic so that our body can digest. So when we eat food, it is a safety signal to the body. None of this skipping meals, none of this once a day meal. And those things have their place for certain people in certain seasons of life. But if this is resonating with you, that is not for you. Okay. You want to eat every 3 to 4 hours. Do not skip those meals. Focus on protein. As always, eat that protein first, healthy fats, good fiber. You want to use whole foods. We do not want any highly processed foods because that also increases stress on the body. So again, your body interprets nourishment as safety. Dieting too hard, skipping meals, it signals danger and it's going to keep you in that place and you're going to have a really hard time healing. Day 7, this is about connection. So reach out to someone who makes you feel calm, seen, or inspired. So even a short text, a 5-minute call, connection is a nervous system regulator. We do help each other co-regulate. So that connection piece is really, really important. When you start healing from chronic overdrive, the shifts are subtle, but they're so powerful. You're going to start sleeping better. You'll feel more grounded. Your cravings will change. You'll have more capacity for joy, connection, and purpose. When I was in this state, I found myself so easily agitated, really low patience, right? What you're going to start to feel is less of that. And again, this just more joy, more connection, more purpose. You don't need to overhaul your life for this. You just really need to start noticing your stress load and making these sort of micro shifts to reset your nervous system. This is how aging into midlife can become so, so good. This is how we reclaim energy, not just to get through the day, but to actually live it. If this resonated with you, I really want to encourage you. You are not broken. You're just burned out, and there are tools to help. You really deserve to feel calm, clear, and strong. If you enjoyed this episode or found something of value in it, please share it with a friend who might be running on empty. That all of that, hopefully just gets the message out to other people who need it. And it also helps to support the show. And anytime in the episode description of wherever you're listening, if you go to the links to the services and the products that support the show, when you use that link and maybe purchase one of those things, you get a discount, but it also helps to support the show. So that helps me a lot. And then finally, if you haven't already, please leave a quick rating or review. It helps more people like you find the show. So until next time, take care of yourself, same love, and give yourself that same love and energy you give to everyone else. You really are worth it. We will talk soon. Thanks for tuning in to Wellness for Real. Don't forget to sign up for my free monthly newsletter. It's packed with tips for real well-being, a high-protein recipe in every issue, and exclusive discounts on products and services I trust. You can find the link in the show notes at my website, heatherheynen.com. Let's stay connected. Follow me on Instagram at Heynen Counseling and Coaching, on Facebook at Wellness for Real, and catch more content on YouTube. And if you're enjoying the show, please rate, review, and share it. It really helps others find the support and inspiration they need to thrive after midlife.
The information in this podcast is intended to provide a broad understanding and knowledge of healthcare topics. This information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered complete and should not be used in place of advice from your physician or healthcare provider. We recommend you consult your physician or healthcare professional before beginning or altering your personal exercise, diet, or supplementation program.